This regular meeting and the public budget hearing as part of our regular meeting this evening to order May 19th, 2026. And welcome everyone. We'll be recognizing several retirees and really appreciate your attendance this evening. Please join us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think what we'll do this evening, because it's pretty warm in here, our AC is not working, I don't think. So we're going to move the recognition of service and professional retired employees for the 25-26 school year up on the agenda. And Susan, yes, we will recognize you and probably have a cry-in opportunity here. It's always so hard whenever our staff retires.
I think they chose me for this position because I've retired several times. As the people at Sutton Elementary School keep reminding me, but I also keep reminding me that they gave me luggage 20 years ago. Well, luggage doesn't hold up 20 years, so they have to renew it every so often. So this evening we have 5 retirees that we are honoring. Their plaque reads their name, and in grateful recognition of your dedication, professionalism, and the positive impact you've made with the Braxton County school system, wishing you joy and fulfillment in your next chapter. And Charity Dean, come up. Our next retiree is unable to be with us this evening, but we want to thank Kim Dennison for serving in the role as teacher and as central office personnel, and congratulate her upon her retirement as well. Kim Dennison. Our next retiree is Susan Kearns. Susan's here with us to receive her plaque. I keep telling people that, Kevin. They don't listen. Our next retiree is also unable to attend this evening. Kay Hokum will be retiring, so congratulations to Kay. And our final recognition this evening goes to a person I've worked with for a long, long time, Lynn Pratt. She's put up with me for a lot of years, so she definitely deserves her plaque.
Maybe
Two plaques. Well, I know what she's going to say. I owe her $5. Because every time I came to the kitchen and said, Lynn, I need this right now, she'd say $5. And I probably owe her a year's worth of my salary. Seriously? Yes, seriously. But you're not going to get it. And congratulations to Lynn and all the retirees. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the Retired Teachers and Service Personnel Association for coming and hosting a reception this evening. We appreciate everything you've done in the past and what you're continuing to do. And I hope everybody here enjoys your retirement more than I did. I get my I went shopping with Dr. Steele's wife all the time, and you can only do that 1 year until you have to come back to get a job to pay off your credit cards. Don't tell her I said that. So we want to thank all of you. Congratulations.
That's an obstacle course. He watches.
Yeah.
This cake is hard on your waist.
I know.
Good, it's addictive.
Congratulations. You're president-elect something soon.
School Boards Association, yeah. I'm the vice president now.
I knew that.
I move up to president-elect, but not the president until the next year. If I live
Thank you
by
for
then.
coming, and thank you, Susan. I don't know, is this thing working?
Yeah, it's on. Oh, yeah, it's on. I can hear you well.
All right.
Yeah, cake to it.
Okay, we will get right into our public budget hearing. And this time I'll call on Sarah to lead the board with the proposed 2027 budget.
I fixed you guys up a binder with some items in it for what was used to prepare the budget. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it yet, but if you open up the binder, the very first page that you're going to see is what will actually be published, that is required to be published in the paper. Then the next section shows the detailed spreadsheet that we went over when we had our work session, and only for the unrestricted fund 11 though. And then the third section is the WEVIS printout with the detailed information. And then the next section, 4, would be the funding, which shows the levy order and rate sheet, and then your state aid comps. I don't know how much detail you would like me to go in with that. To tell you the breakdown of those comps. Step 1 is your professional comps for your employees. Step 2 is your service. Step 3 is your fixed charges, which is your FICA and workers' comp to cover the salaries. Step 4 is the transportation part. Step 5 is your professional student support, which includes like your nurses, counselors. Step 6 is other expenses, which is your substitutes, faculty, Senate funds. Step 7 is allocations that they give us for technology, instructional supplies, and then step 7D is in there, which is for staff development. Step 7 section is the section that next year we'll lose some money out of for the new computer system. I think we talked about that in our work session. Step 8 is the total basic together. Step 9 is how they adjust for the levy rates, the taxes that we will collect. They account for 90% of what we expect to get, and then the county gets 10% to use with how they want. So then step 10 is the final amount that comes from the state for these comps. I added in as well. I wasn't for sure exactly everything that you're used to seeing, but I also put in this section to show you what we're funded for PEIA, what we're funded for retirement, and what we're funded, unfunded retirement. I may have overloaded you with information, but I'd rather give you that information to let you look at than not give it to you.
What's the history of the unfunded retirement? So why is there a portion that is that just means it's unfunded from the state and it's a local responsibility?
No, it's actually unfunded by local and it's funded by the state.
Okay.
And that has to do with OPEB, where the retirement kind of got in the whole type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were able to opt out of that in '08, a long time ago, but school boards weren't, of course.
Yeah.
So that's everything that's kind of in that section to give you that information. And then the next section that I gave you some information was to show you what the salary schedules are and then what PEIA rates are, because I know sometimes you guys have that kind of question. And then the very last section would be just another WEVIS report and a thing that we had to turn into the state for showing how we cut personnel. So I put together just a little brief PowerPoint, since we had already gone through in detail the stuff that was on the spreadsheet, to show you. So the first page was actually what will be published in the paper. So you'll see mostly what you're interested in is the general current expense, which is your unrestricted fund 11, because what's in the special revenue is usually dictated, by the federal grant of how we have to spend it, or the state grant. And then the debt service fund is taxes that we're raising to pay off the outstanding bond that we have. So if you go back to the very first column, you'll see there that the total estimated revenues out of Fund 11 is $22,913,000. 2.7 million of that is an estimated beginning balance, which would be a carryover balance. And then you can see property taxes is 5.4 million, state aid is 12.9, and then we have an unrestricted federal of 60,000 budgeted, which that's Medicaid. The expenditures portion is usually how you see it broken down within your audit, which they group that together as functions. So you have the instruction function, which is exactly what it says, is the cost of what it is to provide instructions for the students. And then you have supporting services for students, instructional staff, central administration, school administration, central services, operation and maintenance of facilities, student transportation. You don't see a big number in food service in Fund 11 because most of that is counted for in Fund 61 under the special revenue. And then we have the debt service of the 215,000 on there. So then I broke it down to give you a little picture as to see where all the money comes from. So you can see that 69% of our money comes from the state. And then 29% comes from property taxes, and then 2% from other local sources, which is some money that we collect from the college that uses the high school, interest on bank accounts, just miscellaneous items like that. And then that federal unrestricted shows up as 0% because it's just $60,000 that came out of for Medicaid. So then if you look at how you spend it by function, which was covered on that first sheet, you can see that the biggest chunk of the board's expenses goes towards instruction. So we spend 53% of our money on instructions to students, 10% on transportation. Again, food service isn't picked up here, but because it's picked up in Fund 61. Operation and maintenance of facilities, 14%. Central office services is just 2%. School administration, which is your principal's office with your principal secretary, is 7%. And then instructional staff and then student support is 5%. So then I went on to break it down by categories so you guys could kind of see that. because this means more to me than if you look at it by function. So you can see that salary and benefits is $15.4 million, which is 73.29% of the budget for this year. And then the next biggest expense is the required reserve that we have to put aside. They make us budget 5%. It shows 4.92, but it's because it's picked up off of your revenues and not your expenses. And so then the next item would be energy as 3.26%, which would be, the power bill. And then the next big number there is the intereducational purchase services, but that number includes, this would be stuff that we would purchase from other school systems or agreements that we would have with the SCSC that we have with them. But the biggest part of that is where I showed you guys that we receive the revenue that we then have to turn out and pay right back to the charter schools. That's why that number is so big. So repairs and maintenance budget is $463,000. Supplies in general, that includes like any instructional supplies that come out of Fund 11, custodial supplies, maintenance supplies. Then you have books, insurance, which is our liability and property insurance. Then you have vehicle supplies, which is for your school buses. Bus replacement, I did go put in there, and that's $276,000 is to purchase 2 buses. And then we have control level technology, other professional services, debt-related expenditures, just communication, water, sewage, and short-term lease, building improvements. It's just all broken down that way. But I think it's good for people to be able to see how much of this total budget is already from the very get-go out of our hands, and we can't use it because it is for salary and benefits. So then here's a chart to then show you the biggest part is, salary and benefits, and everything else is really just a little sliver of the pie. And so I just kind of put that all together to show. I don't know if you guys have questions about anything. We did budget $8,500 for the park. We funded the libraries the same amount that we had funded them this year, and the 4-H that was budgeted for the same thing as well.
Yeah, we didn't provide an increase that was requested. We stayed with the same amount.
Yeah.
Wish for an extension.
I know Mr. Gregory had asked me about how we were charged for the power, and it's commercial.
So it's commercial rate.
Yeah, the commercial rate. And then we talked about the interest rate. I don't remember, maybe Dr. Seal asked me about the interest rate on the property. And so it's 3.9% on it. Yeah. And I think that was the questions that you guys had asked me the last time.
I think that's all the questions I had.
I mean, I don't mind at any time if you guys think of something to
Yeah.
call or shoot me an email.
Oh, wait, I did have one question. The sheet though. It was the one online.
No questions.
No question. Here, we can't find
Supposed
it
to
now.
kick you.
You're supposed to kick me. I'm not supposed to have any questions today. I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
I can't find it, and I didn't. I read. It was on my computer, but I didn't.
Right answer.
I didn't write it down. Larry's kicking me. So.
For utilities, I know that can really have an impact on your budget. So with Hope Gas, I'm assuming they're our supplier.
Yes.
With Hope Gas's rate increase and now Mon Power rate increase before the PSC, what was your percentage increase for our utilities? When you were building in?
When I was building it in, I believe I did a 2% increase.
2%?
2%, yeah.
We have a real cold winter and the rates go up. We could
Yeah.
be,
Well, the same with diesel fuel. I don't
Yeah.
know if we've calculated, if we had any room. Have we, do you know, this year, have we overspent on diesel fuel?
We've spent,
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you know,
yeah.
several,
And the good thing is in 2 years, then we will recoup a lot
Right.
of that over
Because we
expenditure back, yeah.
we get
Yeah.
refunded, but
hope,
problem is it hurts you
Yeah,
in the
in
current
the
year.
interim.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the question I had. I'll email you.
Okay.
I think you've done an excellent job on putting together the budget. This is not the easiest document to
To pull together, keep all these
pull
numbers straight.
together.
Plus, she came in a tough spot.
Tough spot, yeah.
Yes,
I particularly like the 4-year comparison of,
Yeah,
So you
I do too.
track it through quickly.
that was very, very informational.
Yeah.
It's not where you've been necessarily, but where you're headed.
Where you're headed. See if I can find that. My question quickly.
Too late.
Hey, like, keep moving. We'll be out of here by midnight.
I'll be out sooner.
Did you all notice the liability insurance increase?
Yes.
That took an increase a couple of years ago.
Yeah, in '24, it jumped considerably. Then it looked like it jumped about 12,000 again.
I've heard that Brim started insuring a lot of private schools, and they had a lot of exposure that we're kind of picking up for them. Do you know anything about that?
I have not heard that.
That's just incredible if that's the case.
I know that we were trying to get a bill passed this year to get into another pool down there that's cheaper than Brim, but legislature didn't see fit to let us get into that risk pool. But I do know that that Brim has. I don't know why Brim keeps doing that for private schools, you know, and they get in trouble with their kids out there because there are no rules and regulations for them, but there are for us.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know whether they even inspect their stuff or not. I doubt if they do. But it's just, again, another unequal playing field, you know, that we're operating from, and you can bet that our legislature's reluctance to go that far to give us a choice on that is that most of us would probably, and they're trying to look after other constituents instead of public schools. That should be our number one priority. Just my
You're right.
Our opinion?
just my
Yeah.
opinion.
I share your opinion with you.
I'm sure that's unanimous.
Yeah, I'm sure if that's not taken care of fairly quickly next year, there's going to be a lot of people hurting in this state in terms of public schools.
You know, something that sticks in my craw is why do we have to pay back our money to charter schools? They're already getting a ton of money.
It's the law. There's the answer.
That's
It's the
what
law.
we get from
We
our
don't look good in orange, so let's not go there.
we were not number one in priority in terms of spending new money in education.
No.
Actually, I think they, some of that they take before we.
Yeah, we don't even see it.
We don't even see it.
Journal entry for it.
It's good that it's being tracked though.
Yeah.
At least we got a evidence of it.
It was like 434,000 last year or something like that. I can't remember what the number was.
Well, I think it was yesterday, weren't they? I wasn't there, but weren't they discussing spatial education? Were you down there for that? And I mean, with the House of Delegates interim meeting. So they know they're going to have to do something with spatial education.
Yeah, that needs to be more funding for our special.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easy for them. They could,
They just deny you access.
they could change that step one of the formula, to give you a few more teachers. And that would do you more good than anything else. They could do that easily. It's just money. But they're looking for other ways to carve it out so that so they can fund Hope scholarships.
Okay, any other questions of Sarah? Sarah, do you have anything else to offer or explain or?
I think that's it unless you guys have questions, because, I mean, there was just a few minor changes from our work session.
Well, I appreciate the great job you've done, Kevin.
No, I was just gonna say, so I just so I'm tracking, so for next year, we're expecting energy cost rise. Is PEIA going up?
Yes, and that's in this budget.
So that's in there, okay, so that's going up, energy costs are going up. Our revenue's not increasing next year, right? That we know of. Even though I think property tax valuations are up in the county, that will take another
A little bit,
another year or so to hit. Okay, all right. I was trying to figure out where we're at. Okay. Thank you. That was a lot of work. Thank you.
Yep, a
Very
lot
well
of
done.
work. It's always such a busy time around
It's a lot of,
here,
it's a lot of
isn't it?
reading.
During budget time. Okay. Well, under new business, we'll have to approve the budget, but I'll go ahead, if there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and conclude the public budget hearing. And we'll move on with the rest of our agenda items. There are no delegations signed up this evening. We'll move next to the consent agenda items. And that would be the approval of the minutes of the special meeting, budget work session on May 4th, and regular meeting on May 5th, treasurer's report, and payment of bills. Entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda items as presented. Any discussion on that motion? No discussion. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Moving next to the personnel, updated personnel recommendations. We have a resignation from Tammy Arnold, resigns her teaching position at Burnsville Elementary, effective June 30. Miranda Locke resigns her position as teacher at Braxton County High School, effective June 30, due to retirement. Recommendation of employment of Wesley Spencer, physical education, health, wellness teacher at the middle school. John McElwain, alternative education, spatial education teacher with alternative education program. Robert Smith, substitute teacher, itinerant. Service recommendations, employment of Chesney Brown, instructional supervisory transportation, special education aide at the middle school. Nicole Brooks, ECAT aide, Flatwoods Elementary. Cassandra Rose, full-time cook at Sutton Elementary. And resignations from extracurricular positions. Jamie Lemon resigns his position as assistant basketball coach at Braxton County High School. Miranda Locke resigns as assistant boys basketball coach for Braxton County Middle. Recommended employment of Meredith Hoover and summer school elementary school principal and Josh Bordeaux. This is a shared position at Flatwoods Elementary. Donna Morris, substitute summer school cook. Angela Snyder, credit recovery cook at the high school. Lisa Chenoweth, summer school cook, Flatwoods. Jessica Smar, O.C. Allen, Sean Crow, Jennifer Knowles, Kelsey Tonkin Dobbins, and Lindsay Harmon. Those are summer school, elementary school teachers, Flatwoods Elementary. Up to 6 positions. I guess, is that at different schools or just
That was, we're
Flatwoods?
keeping them at Flatwoods.
Okay, all right. Cassandra Denuzzo and Janice Hughes at Flatwoods Summer School, and Jennifer Johnson, credit recovery teacher, Braxton County High School. Alice Smith, credit recovery coordinator, Braxton County High School. Lawrence Shaver, credit recovery custodian, Braxton County High School. Iris Fowler, summer school custodian, Flatwoods Elementary. Lawrence Shaver, Billy Rose. Iris Fowler, summer school bus operators. Jeff Skidmore, Christina Koger, substitute summer school credit recovery bus operator. Kristen Moore, ESY occupational therapist, itinerant. Nathaniel Lynch, head coach baseball, Braxton County Middle School. Jason Hunt, head coach girls basketball. And other recommendations, rescind the transfer of O.C. Allen and place her in the 2nd, 3rd grade classroom at Burnsville Elementary School. Permission to post and hire 1 LPN instructor to be paid for with county funds, and permission to post and hire 1 assistant principal for Braxton County High School to be paid with county funds. And then approval of employee leave requests from Rocky Hamrick, requesting sick and family medical leave effective April 21st and continuing for the rest of the year. And Keith Brown seeking to be absent as bus driver effective beginning May 18th and continuing for the remainder of the school year using sick and family medical leave. And those are the recommendations of personnel.
I'll move that we accept the updated personnel recommendations.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the updated personnel recommendations. Any discussion on that motion? No discussion. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Superintendent updates, Dr. Tetrick, you've got
Yes.
the floor. Give us some good news.
Well, the good news is we have a state track send-off scheduled for Friday morning at 8:45 for our high school athletes. We have boys and girls going, so it's a really big deal. Super proud of them. So anybody that wants to come out and participate and line the roads and hold up
Friday
signs,
morning, 8:45.
8:45 is when they're going to, so I would say it'll probably start around 8:30, so they're going to come off the hill about 8:45. Yep, so about 8:30 to be here. Also, I'd like to just read a statement concerning the election for the bond on May 12th. And I want to read it because I want to make sure that I don't miss any key points I think it's important for people to hear. So the outcome of the recent bond vote is certainly disappointing, but we respect the voice of our community. We understand that many of our citizens are facing real concerns including rising gas prices and ongoing economic uncertainty, and those factors weigh heavily on decisions like this. At this time, the needs of our student athletes remain significant. Our programs continue to operate without a track, and many of our facilities require serious attention. The proposed sports complex would have addressed these needs in a comprehensive way, including a track, a turf football, soccer field, athletic building, cross-country course, baseball field, and a renovated softball field, providing equitable opportunities for all of our sports programs. At this point, we do not have a clear path forward, but our commitment to our students has not changed. We will continue working to find ways to support and improve our athletic programs to the best of our ability. Our focus remains on doing what is right for our students and our community. I just think it's important that everyone understands that we're still committed. The issues are still here, but we're committed to do what we can to continue to support our students.
Yes, and thank you for that. Okay, nothing else from the super?
I think that's it.
We'll move to new business, approval of the 27 budget pending West Virginia Department of Education State Board approval. Got to get it down there so they can say nay or yay.
Right.
I move the fiscal year 2027 budget pending, be approved pending review by the State Board of Education.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the FY 2027 budget, which will be submitted to the Department of Education for their perusal and approval. Any discussion on the motion? No discussion. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries, and we want to thank Sarah again for all your hard work. It's a lot of work putting it together, so thank you. Anyway, motion carries. So, let's see, approval of the purchase and installation of security cameras and related supplies.
And this is something that Nate Perry took the lead on, and it's to provide the camera systems, the wiring, everything that's needed for the cameras at Braxton County High School. Anything I need to add to that? The camera system, I said you took the lead on this camera system through Appalachian Signal. So I didn't know if there was anything else that needed to be stated, but this is just to provide the camera system for the high school.
Other than what was in the agenda items, I was just here to answer any questions the board may have.
Okay.
Are there cameras up at the high school now? I see cameras there when I go in the entrance to the high school, but are those active and functional now?
Yes, sir. Those cameras do function in a limited capacity.
Maybe it's something that we shouldn't be talking about if
Well, I mean, we have access to the cameras. We can view the cameras. We can
Okay.
review the cameras. That they are live.
okay.
There are some concerns with that system that, again, I'm not going to elaborate on a public stream.
Okay.
It was necessary for us to replace them.
So we got the COPS grant, so that's something that he worked hard to get the COPS grant for.
That's great. Thank you so much.
So the majority of it is being paid for, which was, we got like almost $400,000 from the COPS grant. And so the rest of it's coming out of the technology funds. It's like $100 and some thousand, but we've got that in the technology funds for it.
Did this have to be bid out, or is this the winner of the bid, or?
This
how'd they
is
get-
coming through the Mountain State ESC, all of
Okay,
their
so-
products and
so
services.
This is who's
competitive
doing
bidding.
it,
It's already
and they got,
bid,
okay, so it's already directed then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Which was part, I guess, part of the COPS grant. Okay.
So we'll have a link with our new system where the police do have access to our cameras if there's an emergency.
Correct. This new system will tie directly in with our 911 center, so they will have immediate 24/7 access.
That's good.
Good. Okay.
I know those cameras up there at the high school are fairly old, and they don't,
No one moved. Yeah.
I deal with that kind of stuff at work. Camera systems are old and they're not user-friendly, and we have all kind of problems with them.
This new system will be completely digital. It's a brand that I'm familiar with, that I've used both professionally and personally. It's different than what's in the rest of the county, but that's something that I'm hoping to migrate away from as well. These cameras have superb quality. They're very easy to access. 911 won't have a problem with it. Our administrators won't have a problem with it. It's good. It's good. It's a good product.
Have we, I don't know, really it's a Melissa question. Did we get from the safety committee, the EMS, do they have access now to our cameras like we had discussed? I know there was a software issue.
Well, they have access to all of our schools but the high school, and
Okay.
that's
This'll
why
correct it.
Okay,
that's
so
why we
this,
saw.
this will fix that
Yes,
piece. Okay,
yes.
all right. Because I know there was a software incompatibility piece that we're trying to get through when we did the exercises. Okay, good.
All right. Is there a motion? Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase and installation of the security cameras and related supplies for the Braxton County High School, which includes the purchase and installation of door access materials and supplies, cloud management access for Braxton County Schools, which will be paid with the COPS grant, and the remainder of $129,228.63 by county technology funds. Yearly maintenance, or that's pretty much it. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the purchase and installation of security cameras and related supplies at Braxton County High School, as well as the purchase and installation of door access materials and related supplies. And this will all be paid for with the COPS grant and county technology funds. Any discussion on that motion?
One question about the special ed classrooms that we have to monitor during school. Are they being upgraded, or
They have already been upgraded.
they've already
Yes, sir.
had that? So
Each of our inclusion classrooms have Verkada branded cameras and the state required audio sensors in the restrooms.
okay.
Great. Okay.
I used Verkada because that is what the majority of the 55 counties are using. The audio sensor that's used, Verkada is the only company we can get it from. So I migrated the cameras over to the same platform. That way, that camera system is isolated from the rest of our cameras.
I know we can't put cameras in bathrooms, but do we have any, not smoke detectors, but maybe vape identifiers?
We don't at this time. However, at the high school, this new solution, there will be fisheye cameras located at the entryway to every bathroom. So you will be able to see and identify the students that are coming in and out of the restrooms. You won't be able to see them once they go in, but you will be able to identify the students as they come in and out very clearly.
Okay, any further discussion? If no, those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. And thank you so much again for being ahead of that grant and getting all that money.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to add that the camera system is for the high school, but door access will be countywide. So that will encompass all new badges, all new access for every building, not just the high school.
Great.
And it'll set alarms, won't it, for like exit doors if they're propped open and
Correct. Any door that's badged, if they're propped open, they will alarm if they're propped open for too long.
Wow.
I noticed at the high school, there are things with the chain on them, so if you open up a door that's not supposed to be opened, it'll
They
sound
scream
an
at you.
alarm. And this will be tied into the new system, right?
Not those specifically.
Not
What
those.
what will happen is there's an insert that's actually drilled into the door frame and the door, and when that breaks, the door system will acknowledge that that the door's not shut.
Okay.
And then there's a timer threshold of, say 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. And if the door has not, if those magnets haven't recontacted, then it will throw an alert in the system that says, hey, this door is ajar. It hasn't been shut. Because a lot of times people will, just like we have right now for the board meeting, we have a wooden doorstop holding the door open. This new door access system will also allow us to set schedules for that. So like board meetings, we can schedule the door to just unlock. We don't have to prop it open. And then we can schedule it to lock back. We can schedule the doors so that when the buses show up, so as long as a staff member has swiped their badge, when the buses show up, the doors will just unlock. And the kids can come in and out of and arrive for school and just come in the building. And then at a specific time, the doors will lock back. We've also corrected the man trap issues at most of the schools where we don't have a true man trap. You have entry into the front door, but then either you walk directly into the office or directly into the school. Whichever one is missing, we're going to add that. So moving forward, when you walk up to the school, you'll have to hit the AI phone, announce who you are. They'll let you into the man trap. There will be another AI phone where they can communicate with the secretary, and they will never leave that man trap unless they're being let in the building to volunteer or something necessary.
Yeah, cool, okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Moving next to approval of the purchase and installation of fire alarm monitors, related supplies, and annual monitoring services. This will be paid out of county funds.
And this is also something Nate took the lead on.
This new system will fix a critical oversight that has been in this county for many years. Is all of our facilities have a fire alarm, but our fire alarm doesn't call the fire department. That's a huge problem. So I partnered with the same company that we are using for door access. This will be a monitored solution. This isn't just a dumb dialer that just fire alarm pull station is pulled. It sends a recording to 911. This is a fully monitored solution that if there's a trouble on the panel, they will get the trouble, and then they'll call the principal or they'll call maintenance and say, hey, we've picked up a trouble on your panel, you need to check it out. If we drop water pressure on our sprinkler system on a Saturday afternoon, Mr. Vi could be getting a phone call saying, hey, you need to send somebody out there, you may have a water leak.
Right.
So this is not just a dumb dialer, this is a fully managed 24/7, 365 monitored solution. If a fire alarm station is pulled or otherwise a fire alarm is otherwise activated, a specific set of things will happen. The principal will be notified, other people will be notified. They will reach out and say, hey, do you need us to dispatch, or is this a drill, or what do you want us to do? If they don't reach us, then they call the 911 center and they give them real-time information.
Kind of like when Evelyn forgets to turn her security system off and
Yes,
leaves,
ma'am.
and it goes direct into 911. Embarrassing. Or a fire.
The cows got out.
Cows got out or whatever, yeah.
We used to have a call-down system when security was breached like at the high school. And I remember when I was superintendent, I was part of that. And one night, 6 of us ended up out there at the same time at 3:30 in the morning.
It worked then, right? That's right.
And the guy that installed it, Rod Stewart, was there. He said, I'll take care of this. And he clipped the main with his, and it still kept going, but it was a fire alarm system instead of the security system.
Oh,
I'm actually glad you said that because this system, the fire alarm system, at every school with the exception of Little Birch, this will be cellular. So there are no wires to clip. If the power's completely out, it will still hit cell phone, it will still call out. Due to the lack of cell coverage at Little Birch, we're using an Ethernet based, so it'll run across our internet.
Would Starlink not work there?
Yes,
Starlink does work there, but we don't
we don't have Starlink.
we don't have Starlink in
Okay.
there.
I was just gonna say it works in Flower and
That's right. It works everywhere. All
it
around.
works everywhere.
That's
Yeah,
very well.
okay.
Not that I'm a salesman for Starlink or anything.
So was there a motion on C?
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase and glasses on installation of the fire alarm monitors, related supplies, and annual monitoring services for Braxton County Schools to be paid with county funds.
I'll second the motion.
Been moved and seconded to purchase and install fire alarm monitors, related supplies, and annual monitoring services for Braxton County Schools. Any discussion on that motion? No discussion. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. I think I'll go ahead and put D and E if there's no objection. D and E together, it all kinds of goes together. As Sarah discusses the FY 2025 audit as prepared by Perry and Associates, and then a related review and corrective action plan for all 8 schools as prepared by Hess, Stewart, and Campbell. So, Sarah, you got the floor.
Didn't prepare a slideshow for this. I wasn't for sure really what detail you guys expect or are used to getting with the audit. So the first part in your binder that I gave to you is a management letter. And a management letter is just stating something that they found that they really don't like the way that you're doing it, but it's not really an audit finding. I wasn't the one that initially prepared the financial statements. I did talk to the educational group. I can't remember the exact name. They're the ones that pulled this together, and I did talk to a few weeks ago the lady that helped to work on part of it. So one of the issues that they had was the way that compensated absences were calculated and put on our financial statements. And what it is we're having, when you pull them together to put them on the district-wide statements, you have to pick up a liability and an expense for sick leave days that are outstanding, and this is something that's new, and the use of sick leave days to purchase years of service, or the liability of people could take off all of those days and what that liability would be. When I spoke to her, she had said that Chris DeWeese with Suttle and Stoniker, which is another CPA firm who gives a lot of advice to the school system as a whole as to how to account for certain items when these new GASBs come out, that he was the one that had advised her of the calculation to use that she used for it. Her auditors did not have an issue with the way it was calculated, but apparently our auditors do have an issue with the way that it's calculated. So that's something that we'll have to look into when we do the next audit. And then if you look at the back of the page, the next thing was bank reconciliation procedures. And it was like, it's a little difficult the way that we have to track the money and then reconcile it on Weavis and do all of that. And we have a really good division of duties here as to the girls in the office. I keep a spreadsheet that shows all of the checks, deposits, and everything that come in and out. So we have a running total on a spreadsheet that always then matches back to Weavis. And they are the ones that actually go in. The one girl does payroll is her job duty, so she reconciles the accounts payable checking account, and then the accounts payable person reconciles the payroll. They were going in and clearing checks, but it wasn't always getting reconciled back to Weavis in a timely manner. So that was one thing that they had founded us on, but had put an issue in that they had that, not a finding, but that we needed to work on and to make sure that was done better. And I can tell you that we have to send our financial statements monthly to the state through Weavis, and we're supposed to do that by the 7th day of the month. So I do require that they have their bank rec done by that 7th day of the month for me to then close out my month and send that to the state. So we are getting it done timely. It's balanced to the penny.
Now that control is working.
Yes. So if you turn to page 15, that's the page that usually most people are most interested in, because that's actually the government fund statements. And it breaks it out by the different funds. And you can see on there, on that page down at the bottom, the fund balance is the unassigned fund balance ended up being 3.7 million, and we had a restricted balance of 1 million. And what makes up that restricted balance is some technology money of 421, and then the 600,000 that has been set aside for the sports complex that came from the cell phone tower. And then committed at the end of the year is what we owed at the end of the year in outstanding purchase orders. So that's usually something that most boards are mostly interested in, because that's your bottom line as to what happened for that period. So then I marked a point of interest that a lot of boards usually like to see. If you turn to page 66 and 67, 66 will actually show you what each of the individual schools had as a cash balance, the revenues that they received, and the expenditures that they paid out, and their ending cash balance. So all the schools combined had a cash balance totaling $514,000 at the end of June 30th. And then if you look at page 67, that is actually a list of all the state grants that we received last fiscal year. And it shows you how much they were, how much we received, how much the expenditures are. Typically, state grants, we are funded that money up front. And then if you flip the page to page 69, that shows you the federal grants that were paid out last fiscal year. So if you look at page 71, it tells you that they reported on our internal control and on compliance. They don't really come in and do a lot of tests on internal control, but they test somewhat as they are pulling the information that they have to pull to get the audit. And in it, it mentions back to that GASB statement number 101 for compensated absences, that we need to come up with a better plan and control on how we're going to come up with our numbers. They want us to do a historical review of how those absences have been used in years past. And then if you turn to page 73, that actually gives the opinion, and the opinion is that we are in compliance. And then if you actually turn to page 76, it shows you that their financial statement opinion is a modified opinion, which is the best opinion that you can get. There's everything is stated fairly and accurately. Other than if you want to look at page 77, we do have a finding on how some of the stuff was stated in the original financial statements, and then we had to go and do some work to get the financial statements restated. But the overall opinion is an unmodified opinion. Most of the items that had to be restated are just the conversion entries from the government to the district-wide statements, which that's where we're making it accrual based and all that kind of stuff. So based off of what they have issued as a finding is that, you know, they want it to be more accurate, timely, prepared, and I had to issue back a corrective action plan stating that it will be accurately prepared for next year.
So you've put that in place with the folks that you supervise at your level?
Yes, yes. So then if we move on, I don't know if you want to ask questions about that section first. So then if we move on, you'll see we did contract out the individual schools' agreed upon procedures with Hess, Stewart, and Campbell, which from discussing with them, I guess they have been doing this for years. They come in and they select a certain amount of receipts and expenditures, fundraisers and type things, and look at all of those at each school level. And then as they pull that information, then they will list if there are any issues that they have found. In my opinion, if they don't find something, that's the scary part, because nobody's perfect and there's always going to be something that falls through the cracks.
Yep.
And that's just the nature, of the way that things happen. I don't think in any of these, I think there's some training issues and some things to follow up with individuals, but there was no wrongdoings. It's just to be a little maybe better organized, and just training issues of not knowing maybe the full process of how things were to process. And there was honestly some things that they looked at and they were really picky about that I was just like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal to be that picky about. And then there was things that I thought was a bigger deal they didn't think was a big deal. So it's just really, how you see things. Mm-hmm. And for them to do their audit, you're probably aware that they follow policy 1224.1 that the state has issued for individual schools when they do that.
Is
So
this a different company
all of the
that did our audit
schools,
last year? This is different, right?
Yeah.
This is a different company that did our audit
yes,
last
It
year.
is.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Do we
So-
change every year, or does the state change? Who selects
No.
the audit?
This company has done it for years, and because of when I came in and we needed to get it done, we just stayed with this company to do it. However, my hope is for this school year that we're in, that I will audit the individual schools and review the individual schools to where then, we know here and have the comfort level. Because it's not required that we have an independent person come in and do it. And I had audited at the 2 counties that I worked at previously. Yeah.
Probably helps you determine what kind of training they need most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the soonest.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So all of the findings were then sent to each school, and all of the schools then answered back as to what issues happened and how they addressed, and will fix the issues moving forward. And Little Birch Elementary did not. You'll see in there they didn't have any findings, so they don't have any findings or an answer for any findings. But overall, it's just minor little oversight things.
Yeah, I saw one where we paid sales tax when we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
177 pages is a lot to
Yeah.
Had to go through every
to
little
go through, and I did.
Yeah.
We had several that, and I guess it comes back to the one recurring one, and a couple of them had it as a reoccurring issue of having fundraisers before they're approved, technically, I guess, in the process. Is that because of the late decision on the fundraisers, or just, again, failure of the control that's in place?
Well, we have Droplet now, and.
Okay,
you know,
so it's an automated
So
system.
we have our system, so they have to submit that before, and get it, and it gets approved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that may have happened before that fundraiser. There was some glitches
it was
in that when it
25,
first
yeah.
started.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So I think that it
I just
should
saw
be.
that.
Yeah, because they are not to have fundraisers without the approval, and like I said, we do have an online process.
Yeah,
now.
okay.
So that should be corrected.
Is there any particular internal rule on the schools in cashing checks that should be more timely, like someone writes a check to a school
You are required by policy 1224.1 to make a deposit at least once a week. If at any time, you have funds on hand that's more than $500, that's to be, deposited that day. You're not supposed to have more than $500 on hand at a time.
And the secretaries themselves, who actually are the people that's doing this for the most part, they had to come up with their reason. That's why it happened. And I'm sure that's embarrassing to them a lot of times, but some of it is probably just oversight that you just can't catch it all.
Yeah.
I mean, in 25, we didn't have any, we weren't sharing secretaries anywhere either, right? Every school had their own secretary. So I just wondered if that, you know, any of that would cause an issue, but.
Okay, any other questions?
It's a good report. I mean, unmodified is the best you can get. So.
Yeah, just get a couple of those wrinkles taken out, ironed out, and you'll
Yep.
be fine,
Very good.
right? We'll call them wrinkles. All right, so I guess looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 25 audit for Braxton County Board of Education, and we also approve the review and corrective action plan for all 8 schools.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved and seconded to approve the FY 2025 audit for Braxton County Board of Education, as well as the FY 25 review and corrective action plan for all 8 schools. Any discussion on that motion? No discussion. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Permission and approval to place on 20-day comment proposed new policy 2327, education service provider under the Hope Scholarship Program.
Yes, this is a new policy, and it basically just outlines the criteria for participation of Hope Scholarship students in our pro-technical education programs, our athletic programs, and it just identifies like the rate to be paid, such as 1/7 of the annual Hope Scholarship amount to be charged for like regular courses, and then 1/12 for annual for extracurricular activities. We've had discussions that this account, it's, you know, they can directly pay us from their account into our account. So we're actually going to set up an online system. I think that'll make it much easier. Sarah is very familiar with that. She's got a system that'll make it very good to use. Melissa's creating a droplet form for applications or an online form. So anyway, students, parents are getting money for Hope Scholarships. So if they want to participate, welding, cosmetology, any of our programs or athletics, there's money in their Hope Scholarship to pay us. So those are the things that we will be.
Do we have any Hope people using that now?
Well, they've not been charged.
They haven't been charged, okay.
My understanding.
can't charge without this policy.
We have to have the
Okay.
policy in place.
I've had a couple people ask me what the plan was, because they know that districts are starting to charge.
Yep.
So I have just a couple questions. One, it says 1/12 for like extracurricular, like sports.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean for,
It's 1/12 of their Hope Scholarship
right,
amount.
yeah.
Am I saying it wrong? They get a Hope Scholarship award.
The athletics, okay, that's handled in another policy, so that would be like if they would participate in like Skills USA or something like that.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
this one is.
That's right, we
Oh,
are
I thought
doing
this
one,
was all
right, that's right, we do have one for
Yeah.
athletics, I'm
So-
sorry, yeah,
so
that's
I-
extracurricular.
And Sarah may be able, I may be incorrect, but I think it's 1/12 of
Their Hope Scholarship allotment, isn't it?
It says, well, I don't know what this just says, the annual course and the rate of 1/12 the annual Hope Scholarship. will be charged for
Yeah.
each extracurricular activity.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay.
if they're in Skills USA, and they're in FBLA, and they're in HOSA, there's 3.
Does this,
And then if they are in like welding or whatever, it'll be 1/7 from their Hope Scholarship allotment.
okay, I guess then my question would be, do we find that in this?
That's on the second page
Yeah.
It's in the policy.
in the policy.
Yep.
Yeah, I know it, but to me, extracurricular includes sports.
Well, if you notice in there, there's reference to the policy that does cover athletics.
So that's WVSSAC sanctioned activities. See
Yes.
policy
Yes,
4400.
there is, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That was my confusion because we were
Yes,
talking about that other policy.
and I didn't have a chance
Yeah,
to
no,
talk
it's
to her
okay.
about
I was
that,
just,
so-
yeah.
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 So then my question would be, so if like, and I'm just throwing it out there, just so like if a student wants to participate in, let's say, Skills USA, is that one event, or do they pay 1/12 and they can go to
That's-
Skills USA, HOSA, FBLA?
I think that's 1/12 per,
Yes.
like if your FBLA is a separate activity.
Right.
Skills USA is a separate.
Okay, so for
So-
each activity, there will be, okay. And the sports, are we planning on doing the same thing for sports,
Well,
or a little different?
It's a little bit different.
Okay.
And that
And it's not, it's
policy
a number, yeah,
allows the superintendent to set that
rate.
rate.
Right, yeah.
And I've know some local counties and what they're setting theirs at, so that's probably
That's
what
what-
I'll go off of, yeah.
Well, like I've said before too, I mean, my kids were in 13 different schools, so like Lisa's and a lot of kids were, and many schools, no scholarships charged for all their extracurricular activities. So as a parent, you pay out of pocket for them to participate in everything. So, and it's a substantial amount of money.
Yeah.
You know, so, okay, cool. No, that's good, thank you. I can answer the questions people ask me.
I think it's important to note too, I don't know if you're aware, I'm maybe speaking out of turn, but we were told it is in state policy now that we have to charge.
Well, yeah, we should be, because
So I
again,
didn't know if you were aware of that.
no, I didn't know it was
But
in
we are
state.
told we have to charge Hope Scholarship
Right.
students to come in and take our classes.
Yeah.
It's mandated that we have.
So,
It's almost like you can't have your cake and eat it too.
That's right.
It's not a choice that we have.
Right.
We are.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, because they're being funded, basically the money follows the child. So if the child's not here, and then the child wants to come here for a sport, then there should be an expectation that we have to pay, or somebody has to pay for
Recoup a
that.
little of it.
well, and if they,
We can recoup a little of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
I mean,
little.
I mean, it's not
Stress
gonna change
little.
anything, but yeah.
so if they have the Hope Scholarship and then, they decide to come back to our school system, then this policy says then we get the funds from Hope Scholarship to support them.
Yeah, to
in
support
there.
them, yeah.
So,
It all equals out. Oh,
yeah, it does.
Okay. All right, motion to place that out on 20-day comment.
I'll move that we place policy 2327 out on 20-day comment.
I'll second, or Kenna can, either one of us.
Moved and seconded to place the new policy 2327, education service provider under the Hope Scholarship Program. Any discussion on that motion? No discussion. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Permission and approval to place on 20-day comment, proposed revision and renaming of policy 5210, which is school support organizations.
Yes, this is needed. As you can see, it was one small, paragraph that's been marked through. And it moves from parent organization to school support organization. And the purpose is, it identifies the purpose, that annually the organization needs to be submitted for approval. It also it also notifies the organizations that, all of their, their tax information, everything has to be turned in before June of every year. I think it's June. It just really outlines everything so that everyone has a clear understanding of how these organizations are to operate. They are to operate to support, student groups, PTA, PTO, booster clubs, alumni group, foundation, any non-governmental organization group, school clubs, academics, athletics, arts, social activities. I mean, it is to support our students under the direction of a school employee. So you just can't go out and open a school support organization without having these connected to a school employee, and that school employee also works with the principal, and again, that has to be renewed annually. So I think this is going to help streamline things. We have a clear process and identifying fundraisers, things that are prohibited. Everyone has to have their bylaws. It just really lays everything out.
Yeah, and under WDD's policy, these organizations are supposed to be approved annually by the board. That's a requirement in policy.
Yeah, right, and that was not in our former one, so this just really brings us into compliance, and it just lays out the process. So the annual approval needs to happen.
So what's examples? So like if we had band boosters,
Yeah, you know,
any organization
Any
that regularly
organization.
raises
yeah,
money.
any PTO, band boosters, if you had a football boosters or athletic boosters, that sort of thing. That's outside the school system, that's fundraising on behalf of our students or in our name.
And to make sure that everyone understands that the money that's raised in our name for our sport or activity, it is for our activity. It cannot be, an individual cannot take those funds. It's done in support of our school, and it just really, I think this policy does a real good job laying everything out.
Yeah, and Sarah could probably speak more to this, but ultimately, even though they're you've got a booster group out there that's not us, we're still responsible for overseeing them under policy and how that they spend their funds and to make sure that that's done correctly because they're doing it in our name.
How's that work for like the Moose Lodge that may donate
Well,
$1,000 to a?
well, doesn't cover donations.
It's not donations.
Yeah,
Right,
okay,
and
so
they're not
just-
doing it in our
If they're
name.
doing a fundraiser event for the football team,
They can still do that because they're not
Right.
purporting, they don't have, it doesn't look like it's got the official stamp of us. So if you've got the, Braxton County Athletic Boosters,
okay.
yeah.
All right. So if it's in name,
Yeah, private entities that do other things that aren't
right,
affiliated with the school system can still make their
maybe a
donations.
one-time,
And
okay,
yeah.
all right.
And there has to be an employee, so Braxton County Athletic Boosters may be the athletic director as the
Oh, okay.
employee.
All right.
Yes.
You see, and then the employee
Right.
communicates, with the principal, and then they do
Yeah.
the annual request.
Okay, all right.
And it just keeps, I think there's confusion,
Yeah,
Big time.
yeah, I think there's.
so we need to make sure this really, I
I've been
think, lays
confused
it
in the
out
past about it.
clearly.
So-
Well, and then all you need is for, and, thankfully, I think I think we've not had anything underhanded happen. But if you have, a booster group or a parent organization, and then, they'd embezzle a bunch of money, then that harms our ability going forward to
Yeah.
raise funds for, for other organizations. So ultimately, it's about protecting, kind of the name of Braxton County Schools and to make sure that anybody that's operating in our name is doing things above board.
Yep.
And just the pure understanding that this is a support group.
Yeah. So it's a direct tie.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, if and when this is approved after the comment period, I would suggest I know it's online, but we assume everybody has online, but I think if this policy is approved by this board, this should be posted at every school.
Well, every principal that has the organization, meets PTOs and stuff, so the principals will be the ones that communicate because they have to request the annual
Yeah, they
approval.
need to give a copy of this.
So they will be communicating on that with, and if I don't have an approval, then it's my job to contact the principals to say, so you don't have a PTO next year? You
Right.
don't have a you see what I'm saying? Then they will submit their request.
The forcing function.
If they feel maybe their PTO or PTA is not functioning the way it should, and they no longer want it, then they will say, I'm not making that request. We're not going to have one this year.
Yeah, and so the principals are aware of this, they're aware of this policy.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to place it out on 20-day comment?
I move that we place the proposed revision, renaming of policy 5210, school support organizations out on 20-day comment.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to place the school support organization revised policy 5210 out on a 20-day comment. Any discussion on the motion? No discussion. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. All right, moving into board member remarks. Lisa?
I just want to say, congratulations to all the retirees, and good luck in all your future endeavors. And then, thank you for all of your hard work on all the financials. It's a lot of work, so thank you.
Okay, Kevin?
I'll just ditto what Lisa said. Congratulations to all our retirees and folks, and graduation just around the corner. It's crazy. We're at the end of the school year already, but we are. And I know then summer school starts a little bit later, but just look forward to for a lot of folks taking a break and then to start another year. And I think it'll be another great year.
Thank you, Kevin. Larry?
Just congratulations to all the folks that retired, and I wish you nothing but the best. You've given a lot of years, hard work and dedication to the school system, and we're going to miss you all.
All right, thank you, Larry. Kenna?
I endorse what the other board members have said. In addition to that, I want to make comment of Monday, a week ago, we had a award ceremony of primarily scholarships for high school students. Fortunately, we had a lot of philanthropy in action that day, and people from Braxton County, individuals and organizations donated over $100,000 scholarships for graduates of Braxton County High School, in addition to about 7 different institutions of higher education, from New River Valley to WVU, Marshall, Fairmont State, Glenville, Wesleyan, making scholarships available to students that if they want them. I clicked that on a while ago, and it went off on its own. But
Timed out.
but at any rate, then on Wednesday, we had another ceremony of completers in career technical education, and a lot of kids were awarded recognition for their achievements in those CTE programs, and the teachers were there, and it was a pretty emotional thing because teachers and students develop a bond that stays with them forever, and it was a nice ceremony, and well attended. And I'm just wanting to congratulate all those parents that participated in that, as well as the award ceremony on Monday, and kids that received recognition and scholarships.
That was impressive.
Thank you, Kenna. And I concur also with my fellow board members in terms of congratulations to all the retired employees that we recognized here tonight. All the many years of combined experience that we saw here tonight. It just seems like a plaque's just, you can't spend it, but hopefully you can put it on the wall or on a table or something. But just want to say that I really appreciate all their years of hard work and dedication and services to the students of Braxton County. And concur also with what Dr. Seal stated with all of the CTE completers and all of those awesome scholarships that were handed out. And that's all coming back to us, I think, in the future. I think we are developing potential donors once they go out and they go whatever they're going to do in life, whether it's a post-secondary education in the career and technical area or academically. I believe that we are really preparing our students to come back, and simply because, as Dr. Seal said, over 100,000 just in local scholarships alone, and that did not include all of the academic institutions. So just very proud of our county and what we're doing. And just on a personal note, one of our graduates from last year that won a full ride to Brown University just sent me an email and gave me an update on how well he had 1B at Brown University.
Slacker,
And
right.
but he's just really looking forward. He wants for the group of scholars to get together this summer, and I thought this was an excellent idea to get together and meet and share stories of the different institutions of higher learning.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to make that happen. But again, just our kids are really, really doing a great job out here in the real world. And with that, I will declare this meeting adjourned. It's 7:29 and probably 90 degrees in here. So let's get that air
Working
conditioned
off that cake.
before another meeting.
I didn't know it was out.